Okay, so today's challenge is going to be to take this Bosch dishwasher that's throwing an E09 code, sometimes an E11 code, that sometimes will shut it down. Most of the times it'll finish the cycle, but what that's telling you is that the water's not staying hot enough during the cycle, and that's almost invariably because of the heat pump, which is a very, very common failure on these, and it lives down in there somewhere. So obviously you got to get the thing out of the wall. That's going to be different for every installation. In this case, it has the screws mounted on the front tabs here, which is the most common approach. The difference here is that it's built up a little off the ground, so you can see it's probably sitting on a platform behind this access board, which I have to remove and get it out. So I'm going to do that. You probably won't have to. So let's start getting this thing out. All right, and the next step is going to be to remove this panel to get access to what's behind it. Okay, with that panel off, you can see the adjuster feet, and this is what holds it up snugly. Now you may have to adjust these down, and you can do that with a wrench, just an open-ended wrench on these flats on the feet. You can turn the adjuster feet up to drop the top of the dishwasher if necessary, to get the clearance you need to get it out of the cabinet. Okay, that has the machine loose enough to probably pull out. I might have to lower the feet just a little bit. But the other thing is, you've got other connections, and those connections are, you're going to have a drain line coming into your drain, or in this case garbage disposal, and then you're going to have the water supply line going from the hot water tap, in this case, over to the dishwasher. Now the question is, how much slack do we have? Now, very often there's plenty of slack to go ahead and take the whole machine out without doing anything else. I'm going to start doing that. If I run out of slack, I'll come back here and disconnect. Okay, it's just a little bit snug, so I'm going to turn the feet to drop the top of the machine down. It's going to be easier to use a pair of pliers to drop the machine a little bit, and that should give us plenty of room. If you look at it up here now, we've created a gap between these mounting tabs and the top of the machine, so it's ready to come out. You might need to turn this adjuster to drop the rear feet if you have any trouble getting the back of the machine out. So turn it to the counterclockwise to lower the back, clockwise to raise it back up. And it looks like we got plenty of slack on both lines, plus the electrical, so we're good to go. Now, in some installations, you're going to really want to turn the power off before you do much of anything. In this case, I knew that I'd be able to just pull the power plug out after I removed the unit from the wall. So now the unit's totally disconnected from power, so we're safe to proceed. Next step is going to be fold this insulating panel back up over the top. And we're getting close. You can see the pump in there. And what we want to do at this point is get this thing out of the way. So there's a cap on top that holds it in place. Okay, now to get this out, you can just use a screwdriver to release these two little tabs on the front here. Once this is loose, you can just move it out of the way and you have access to your pump. Now it's time to release the plugs, and a quick time-saving tip, folks, is to take a look at the new part. And if you do, you'll see that the release on this rear white plug is actually on the unit itself. There's a little tab there, and these two have fixed points, so that means that the release is going to be on the plug itself. So we just got to get in there, pull those off. Okay, this front one should be easy peasy. Just pull this little tab up and pull the plug out. These two, okay, the release is actually a tab up on top here. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully I'm not blocking the entire shot. But there's a push tab on top here. Once that's pushed down, the plug should be, you can work it out. Might actually be easier to release this one after you remove the pump. Okay. Next step, I'm going to pull off this little rubber assembly here, so we can get the pump out. And one thing is this clamp that's back there, the silver clamp around that beige tube. That is just a compression clamp that was put on at the factory. You're just going to have to work that off by working the pump down and away from the hose, and you replace that pre-tension clamp with a new worm gear clamp so that you can tighten it up after you're done installing. So I'm going to work on getting the pump out of the way now. This pulls off pretty easily, and you might want a towel for that because there will be a little bit of water left in it. Beyond that, then it's a question of just working the pump out of that other clamp. No big deal. So we're free, and now we just have to get this orange plug out. So now it's just a question of working it out without hurting anything. There it is. Now we've got to get this clamp off of the hose. You can see that's not a reusable clamp. That's it's put on, and then this little piece of metal here is pinched to tension it, so there's nothing you can do to reuse it. To install the new clamp, you need a 7mm or a quarter inch drive, and you want to put it over the hose and snug it down until it's just starting to grip it, where it'll hold itself in place, and that'll let you push the hose, the pipe from the new pump up into place. And also the front placement here, this is a blind placement. It's pre-lubricated, it's silicone, and it just slides over the obvious tube in the dishwasher itself. So first step, let's put these back in the reverse order they came out. So the orange one goes there. Make sure you get a good click. Okay, so I'm going to place the pump in place now, and what I'm going to do is first I'm going to slide it onto the tube back here. I'm going to turn it clockwise just a little bit to drop this tube to clear the hose that it connects to, and I'll slide it onto that one, and then I should be able to rotate it up. It'll be a little fiddly, but you might want to feel with your fingers to see where you're at. Make sure you're kind of centered on that hose, and then rotate the whole thing into place. Okay, it's a little fiddly. Basically, place the pump in position as best you can, and work on getting this vertical tube connected first. You'll have to get the nose of the pump slid into the pipe coming out of the dishwasher assembly here to get it to line up. But basically, you're fighting two 90-degree different items there to get them all lined up. Now at this point, I'm going to slide the clamp down a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit on that. I got to slide that clamp down so that it gets a good purchase on the on that tube. Okay, so I'm just pushing the clamp down just a little bit toward the end of the hose. Turn the pump kind of counterclockwise to push the hose, push the nozzle up into that hose. Make sure you have the hose clamp where you can reach it, and then just tighten it down nice and snug. Don't go gorilla tight, it's a worm clamp, so it won't take too much torque, but just tighten it down until it's good and snug. Also slide the little rubber isolation mount up onto the body frame there. Push everything down as snug as you can get it. And we should be good to go. Okay, everything's nice and snug. The clamp is good and tight. The hose is nearly entirely over the pump's pipe. The pipe is inserted, the front one, it's a blind fitment, but if everything else lines up, it's pretty much got to be right. This is vertical. We're ready to put it back together. Okay, and one of the things you're going to want to do if you leaked water all over the floor of the machine is to dry it out, because it actually has a sensor in here that tells it it's leaked. Okay, and if the machine senses that there's water in the floor pan here, that it will actually throw an E15 code, in this particular machine anyway, and keep it from running. So ask me how I know. But I'm going to dry it out now and hook it up to make sure everything is good. And we're ready to put this back in. Okay, it goes in like this. It should ride on some clips to push it back into place. At this point, put the lid back on. Should just clip in. We can plug it back. And for what it's worth, at this point, folks, you could just, as long as you're still hooked up to water and the drain and the electrical, you could actually cycle it here. You could run a load just to make sure you haven't created any leaks or anything. I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to go ahead and put it back in to get over this job. Okay, and then we'll put the insulation back in place, and folds down inside and under things. You can see this was kind of twisted when it went in. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, but we're ready to go ahead and wrestle the thing back into place. Okay, the machine is now pushed back into place roughly, and as you can see, there's still a gap under those two brackets that the screws go into to hold it in place. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to adjust the legs to push it up into place so it's snug, and then I'll install the two screws. Okay, I turned the adjusters until the top came up and is now nice and snug. I might have to wiggle around a little bit to get the screw lined up with the original holes. Okay, now I've wiggled the machine around so that the holes line up, and just have to reinstall the screws. Okay, install the trim panel.